welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and today we're gonna be talking about my top 5 books in each category. Let's get going. So, also if you hear a noise, that's just my washing machine because we're washing, our clothes and stuff. So, I'm sorry for the mess. But anyways, let's get going to the video. Favorite top book in each category, we have fantasy, historical fiction, G. So, and in those three, we're gonna have my top 5 in those 3 categories. So starting off with fantasy, my top 5 is Daughter of the Moon Gardens by Su Lin Tan. So I actually just finished reading this. I thought it was great. There was some things that bothered me a little bit, but otherwise I loved the story and how it went. I did like the part 2 and leading up to the part 3. The part 1 was a little bit slow, but that's okay though. So I did like how everything was just tied up, although the ending was a bit too happy to say the least. But guys, in all the fantasy I ever read, there's no happy ending at all in all the books that I read. So this one was interesting to see how it was ended. But yeah, I'm excited for the sequel, and let's go from there. Next one was actually given to me by the author herself. I wanted to read an arc for her, and that is The Courts of Fate and Fear by Elizabeth Triangulator. If I said that wrong, but so I really love this book. I thought it was great for her debut. I had never seen the relationships between the characters. It was so great. I loved it. I liked how the story was going. It wasn't boring. There was just enough action, and there were things that also weren't boring as well. So I really liked it, and I can't wait to see where she's going with this book. This one is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Pakichan. I did like this one. I also read the Spin the Dawn. I didn't read that one. It was okay, but I really prefer She Who Became the Sun more. It's like Mulan meaning Song of Achilles, which I love Song of Achilles. That one's the best. But yeah. So in a way, it does kind of remind me of Poppy War as well, because it's dark, brutal, and all the things that the characters went through was just so brutal. I also like how the author explored the gender and the gender identity. I thought that was well done, so I really liked that part of the book. And I also liked the characters as well, although there were times that I was kind of confused that the main character was being going into as a guy, so I was kind of confused because the way how she described it. I really thought we were reading about 3 people, even though it's just 2, because a female character who turned into a guy. So that one was a little bit confusing for me, but otherwise I did like this book. Kingdom of the Curse by Carrie Maniscalco. I actually loved this one more than the first one. The first one was okay. There were some things that were not really going towards much. There's just a lot of food describing. Nothing wrong with food. I do like food, but I thought the main focus was the world that we're in. So, and the storyline and all that. But I did like this one, although there was that one particular chapter I did not like. I think it was chapter 17 where Wrath was Ilya was doing your worst to Wrath, and then he did his worst with his power. That was just, I just cannot. I don't like how it happened. I get it, she wants to see the bad side, but no. That chapter was just not okay. Last one is Wings of Remedy by J.L. So again, I read this one, I really loved it. I love the characters, I love all the world building, just how with the history and the cups that Rue had won. I thought that was really great. The beginning was a little bit slow, but I did like all the way through, especially the ending where everyone came together and helped out Rue. I thought that was really great and really touching. That the whole community just came to help out Rue. So I thought it was really great. Okay, so my next category is historical fiction, and my number 1 is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. And yes, in case you haven't noticed a pattern, I do like Carrie Maniscalco. She just writes like fantastic books. So for that one, I actually reread that twice now. I might go back again just because I really love that book so much. On the series, I would say. Although the feminism side was just... I think the feminism could have been better. But I did like Audrey and Thomas. And I just liked the relationship. And, you know, I liked how like they had all these mysteries that they had to solve and figure out who is Jack the Ripper. Of course, in the actual history, no one ever identified who the real Jack the Ripper was, so I did like that. I think I like the second book more though. Like the second book, what was the second book? Hunted by Dracula, I think it was, or something like that. I really love the second book with vampires and the castle, so yeah, and the third and fourth book kind of felt downhill. The fourth one definitely was more with romance, and I'm like, what happened to the mysteries? But I definitely love the second one more though. And my next book is the Bookstore Secrets by Gable. And if you like to read about lost books and authors, because this one is following about Nancy Milford, who is a writer back then, and her manuscript happened to get lost, but they were following to today's present where we find where Katie is actually finding that there are several pages missing of Nancy's life. So if you like those kind of plot lines with books, this one won't be for you. I really loved it. And this was like set in the World War II, I think, so it will be a little bit sad because of it, but I did like how the entire book was played out, and I did like Nancy more than Katie, but yeah. Like how the author herself, Michelle, she did like a lot of research on this, so I thought the research was well done, and it just made the story more interesting. So my next book is These Violets Delight by Chloe Gong. I like Romeo and Juliet, so imagine my surprise when I found this book. And I loved it. I thought it was great, like the whole monster eating thing, if I remember correctly. And how one of them got infected. I kind of read this book a while ago, so I'm trying to remember what I read. But that ending though, oof, I remember that there was a butterfly, so I think I read the second book. I think that was okay, if I remember correctly. But I really like the first book, so. This book is Lovely War by Julie Berry. So this one is kind of interesting. Like, we're still following two people, but like we're actually following Aphrodite, I think it was Aphrodite. And she's sort of like narrating the love story between the two people, which is taking place in the World War. From what I can remember, I'm hoping this is true. But yeah. Like Hades in this one, he was just so impatient. It's like, can you just get to the point? So I really loved Hades in this. And yeah, so I just feel like the love story between the two main characters that they had, and I thought that was like really beautiful. So yeah. My next book in historical fiction is The Fountains of Silence by Alita Septis. I think that's how you say it. So again, I love the book, and the main character is also named Anna, so hi. I'm not Spanish though. But again, I thought that was well done. I did like the love story between Anna and Daniel, I think his name was. I also like the way how Nuta did the history like with the Spanish period, so if you like to read about Spanish, I think you'll like this book as well. She did do her stuff really well, so I like how she executed it. And the last category is mythology. So I have read a lot of mythology books, so it's kind of hard to figure out which top 5 would be my favorite. So, but coming up at number 1 is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Again, I love this book. I thought the plot was so flawless. I like how we saw the entire journey of Achilles and Patroclus. Did I cry? Of course I cried. Was it emotional? Yes. Like the friendship all the way through the tragedy, it was heartbreaking. And I just like how Madeline didn't really stick to the actual story itself. I like how she played it. The ending, it was just so heart-wrenching for me that I was like just being so emotional about it. So I thought she was doing it really well, and I just love Sandra Keeley's. This book is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. So this was kind of unexpected for me. I wasn't sure I was going to like it because this is like such a modern retell of Hades and Persephone, but I really enjoyed it. So if you guys do want like a traditional review, maybe you aren't gonna like this modern retell, but it was hot and steamy and rich theme because I said before I didn't really like to read those kind of books like erotic and all that, but this one was kept being talked about, so I'm like, okay, I have to find out why is this so good. So, and I like mythology, even though this book is a modern way of retell, but I still really liked it. And Adonis, oh my god, I find Adonis so annoying. I'm sorry, but he was annoying. Next one is Heroes, the Greek Myth Reimagined by Stephen Fry. Again, I like this book. I like how he told all the stories that we ever known about mythology and all that. So if you do want to know more about books, I feel like this is the way to start off with your myths about Greeks and such. And I did read his other book, which is Heroes and Legends, I think it was called. Again, I liked that one, so it was really informative, and I already knew like most of the stories anyway, so I just read it for the fun of it. But it was still great to read it. But the author created it in a way that has high adventures, tragedy, and fatalism, so I thought it was great. We all knew what happened to Troy, and I just still get sad about reading it. So, and in this book we also get to see like great events of Iliad, by like slaying Hector by Achilles, how Achilles was just dragging Hector's body all the way to the gates of Troy. That was just brutal, man. Like being dragged all the way to the gates of Troy. I had to wince a little at that because that was just brutal. I like the myriads of gods and goddesses, so I thought Arthur did was like a really good job of it. I like how she handled it. And I just really like the story overall, so if you do want to read like a book about Troy, I think you will like this book. And I'm sorry that we have a honking by the neighbors. Can you stop? My next final book in this category is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. So a lot of people don't really like this book. I never like some mixed reviews. I thought it was okay. I liked it. I think I gave it like 4 stars, so I did like it. I think I preferred this book over Electra. Imagine that. I like the Greek hero's thesis. Was he an asshole? He was an asshole. So I'm sorry, but I just didn't really like thesis and the way how he was treating Ariadne. That was just not okay. How the author also included different kind of elements and characters like Icarus. I am still waiting for a book about Icarus. I like Icarus, he's one of my favorites. So, and like, for some reason I just can't find a book about Icarus. So if you guys have any books about Icarus, like retells and all that, let me know, cause I'm in the mood for Icarus. Like, I don't know, his story is sad of course, but I just really like to read it. Also like how the author was describing like the Greece, like how it's like the heat and the sea. I thought all the descriptions were just so beautifully done. I really enjoyed it. Like, and we can see it more visually, and I just thought she did that well done. Okay, so that's all the books in my top 5 in each category. Let me know if you agree or what are your top 5 in each category. Comment down below. Please like, comment and subscribe so that you won't miss a video every time I touch. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!